Hey guys, Gore here. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I wanted to take a look at the new V2.9 update, but more specifically, two changes that are single-handedly going to shift the squad meta. These changes being the increase to the fob exclusion radius and the introduction of HAB proximity scaling. I'd love to know some of your thoughts on these changes and how you think they'll positively or negatively affect gameplay. As always, if you enjoy the video, leave it a like and subscribe for more future squad content. And if you'd like to support the channel even further, consider hitting that blue join button down below and becoming a channel member for as low as $2.99. Now, let's get into things. To start, and for those that haven't seen nor heard about the patch notes, I'm going to be quickly running through the details of the two major changes that we'll be discussing in this video. The first is the fob exclusion radius, seeing an increase from 300 to 400 meters. This means that the next closest radio to a previously established fob has to be 400 or more meters away. The other change is the HAB proximity scaling, where instead of needing two opposing players within 30 meters of a HAB to disable it, you now have a scale from 2 players at 20 meters to 8 players at 80 meters, with each increment of 10 meters needing one additional infantryman to disable the spawn. So what do these two things in combination mean? Well, at a surface level, it's quite simple. Spawns will be fewer, or at least more spread out, and they will be substantially easier to neutralize by any well-coordinated squad. The first thing I want to unpack from that statement is the difficulty level of taking down an enemy spawn with a well-coordinated squad. Previously, the only numbers you were concerned with were 2 infantry within 30 meters. It didn't matter if half of your squad was off in Neverland doing their own thing. As long as you had those 2 people, you could potentially take down that fob. Now, obviously, it was easier with more infantry with you, but you didn't gain any mechanical benefit from the additional bodies. However, with the new update, boy oh boy, is there now a tangible benefit from you getting your ragtag squad to actually stay together. I know how much the quality of teamwork has decreased over time in public games. I've certainly felt it myself, and at times, it can feel next to impossible to keep your squad cohesive. This HAB proximity scale now gives each and every squad leader not only a reason for them to try to keep their guys in one area, but it also encourages squad members not to go wandering off and doing their own thing. I don't think you're going to see a night and day difference immediately, but in the long term, I think this change will do wonders when it comes to squads staying more compact throughout a round. There's certainly more that can be done to curb the lone wolf tendencies of squad players, but I think this is a great step in the right direction. The next thing I want to discuss is the fob exclusion radius and how it's going to affect the fob spam meta. For a long time now, the team with more spawns wins, plain and simple. If your infantry can get to an objective quickly and from multiple angles of approach, they stand a greater chance against a less prepared team. Off on an attack or defense points, you would see a network of fobs placed on and around the objective to increase the likelihood of holding or capturing that point. The exclusion radius increasing from 300 to 400 meters means that these spawns won't necessarily be less in number, but they will be less in effectiveness. Now you have to choose between one spawn very close to an objective or multiple spawns placed further from the objective. Let's take Mutaha Ras V1 for example. The midpoint is always ammo warehouse, intersection, or police station. Previously, it was quite easy to get 2 fobs on the center island with one radio north and the other south. There would be occasions that some squad would slap a spawn somewhere near the center line, making it more difficult to establish a second spawn, but not impossible. Now, you place something smack dab in the center, you're going to be seriously hurting you and your team. Squad leaders now also need to utilize the 150 meter build radius to their advantage, placing HABs away from radios to allow for multiple fobs to be placed near any given objective. The other byproduct of this fob exclusion radius is that now, since fewer effective spawns can be placed, good spawn points need to have the ability to defend themselves through fortifications, emplacements, and have the manpower to fend off attackers. That last part is the most important piece of the puzzle. After playing a fair few rounds since the update, fobs that were left undefended were being swiftly dispatched by the enemy team. In order to maintain a dominant position on the map, we squad leaders had to coordinate with one another that an element needed to stay near the main spawn to prevent its loss instead of allowing everyone to run off of it. Again, this is another great step in the right direction of promoting more communication and coordination between squads. Defeat is the greatest teacher, and I think that a whole lot of squad leaders and squad players in general are in for a rude awakening when they realize the tactics they've been using in the past were pretty shit, and they need to adapt, or else they're going to get real familiar with the endgame screen saying defeat. Wrapping things up, I'd like to pose a question. Do you think OWI needs to take either of these things a step further? In my opinion, the HAB proximity scaling is perfect, and I think will promote much better team-based gameplay moving forward. As for the fob exclusion radius, I'd be curious to see how a further increase would affect gameplay. To any dev that may watch this, I think many would agree with me when I say there's nothing wrong with trying new things and reverting them if the outcome of the changes are less than desired. I think introducing a new game mechanic or taking a current mechanic further that has the potential to shift the game towards slower, tactical play will be welcomed by much of the community. Anyways, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you all enjoyed this closer look at recent changes in game and how likely they are to shift the meta. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section, and if you made it this far, hit that like button and subscribe for more future squad content. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'm out.